Well, folks, it is not the prettiest vehicle out there, but it has a big gun, a 155mm, so not always about the visuals, it's about the performance. Giggity. But this vehicle looks like a hunchback of a tank destroyer design based on a medium tank chassis, like a wider, Patton-esque of a chassis, but pseudo starship of a turret design that's like the Concept 1B or the recent AAT-60, but the most prominent eye-catching feature is the rounded dome shape of a fighting compartment in the back, also having a hump for the commander cupola. It's a Quasimodo Patton or Igor Patton. It's a big gun, it bites hard, but not a pretty looking sight. The XM57 Premium Tier VIII American tank destroyer, so fitting the role of a large caliber gun that we recently don't have for a Tier VIII American tank destroyer. Usually it's like 120 or 105, but it's a big punch. It's slow, like a Doom Turtle, so top speed about 24, horsepower per ton ratio about 13, so a little bit faster to rev than the E3, but not as fast as the E4. So if you play Doom Turtles, right up your alley. Also kind of looks like a squashed beetlebug of a Excalibur, if you will. So not a pretty looking vehicle, but remote control machine gun for the commander cupola. That's not functional. Also, we're missing the actual texture model. This is the Supertest, so early model. And the tracks are messed up too, if you see the texture on the tracks, but hey. Yeah, pseudo traversable turret, but only 75 degrees per side. So like with the T28 prototype, also not as much. The T28 prototype has like 150 or so degrees per side of traverse, but it's a beetle bug, it's a Doom Turtle, that's a hunchback, Quasimodo Patton. It has personality, that's for sure, but it is based on a sketch of a model, so futuristic for the time being, but not a pretty looking tank. I think it's Chrysler too, designed, but yeah. Alright. Let's take a look at the main stats. 155mm has less alpha than the traditional 750, but that's still fine. 270mm of pen, similar to the T30 or the Doom Turtle. Not as good as the E3 or E4, but shell velocity is alright. Has APCR round as gold shell. So it does pack a punch, but they nerf the first iteration DPM. So the current DPM is 2130, which is alright for a Doom Turtle of a design, but hopefully it's not like an E4 where you have weak spots aplenty, but they nerfed the aim time. 2.88 is still okay for a large caliber gun, but accuracy is not great. 0.43 with a 100% crew, not great. So you're close range, you're derping into people's faces, but 7 degrees gun depression, 15 elevation, that's alright. 75 degrees per side, 30 rounds. Hull traverse and movement dispersion is 0.2, which is okay for a large close range tank destroyer with massive penetration, right? That's fine. But crew of 4, not 5, missing 1 loader for the E3 and E4s, and 1 radio operator if you have the T30, but that's still alright. So top speed of 24, reverse of 12, horsepower per ton ratio is in between the E3 and E4, so feels right at home, but top speed more like the E3. Hull traverse, kinda slow-ish. Turret traverse even slower, but that's as expected, right? They nerfed the health by 100, so not as chunky as something of a Ferdinand or T28, but 105 for the hull front. It could be well sloped. We have to see the actual armor. So this thing could perform like with the XM66F. So going hull down is a must, but turret armor is 140. It says 300 or so with the actual stats in the garage, but we'll have to see the actual model. Concealment is actually not a bad medium tank of a concealment, and view range is alright, 370. Radio is standard, but Doom Turtle finally at tier 8. But then again, I already have the TS5, which is like a Doom Turtle with a smaller caliber of a gun ish. So they nerfed the DPM, they nerfed the aim time, kept the crappy accuracy, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, about 3 seconds of aim time is fine for that accuracy. I think it's sub 3 seconds. I mean, usually it's like 3.3 on the ISU 152, so take it or leave it. But the alpha damage is below standard by 120 for some reason, so also nerfing the DPM slightly too. So 305 millimeters of turret armor, but I think that only applies to the mantlet. So it's likely like 140 for this strip right here for the crevice, but we'll have to see with the actual armor. Also, Commander Cupola in the back could be like with the E4, also E3, but we'll have to see with the actual armor, right? So this is a big toss-up. This vehicle is make or break based on the armor on top as well as the upper plate, so could be like the same situation with the XM66F. Hull armor is crap, only rely on the turret armor, but there's also a Commander Cupola in the back as well, so and the armor on the turret and on the hump makes or break this vehicle. Also with the hunchback parts on the fighting compartment area too, so we'll have to see with the actual armor, but it's slow. At least the horsepower per ton ratio isn't too bad, but the top speed is slow. Could put a turbocharger on this thing. You could play it more like a medium tank, but camo not half bad, view range as expected. So, doesn't fully train your tank destroyer crew at high tier, right? Missing a loader, missing radio operator for the T30, but I mean, you already have very good candidates. The TS5 is pretty good. The XM66F is workable. The TL7 is crap. It's a medium tank. It's not really a tank destroyer, but yeah, premium tank destroyer with a large caliber gun is the first time for American TDs, but okay. Shell velocity, kinda wonky with 900 meter per second on the standard shell and high explosive, so could use some leading with your shots. 900 is not great. You want about 1000 or so or more at high tier, but still workable. It is a premium tank, makes more credit and crew XP, yada yada. So basically, you want a rammer on this vehicle. Definitely a rammer to help out with the DPM, but it's a different playstyle based on the armor. So if it has great armor for the whole armor right here for this plate, then you could play it like a Doom Turtle, like a TS5. Don't care about your hiding your lower plate, just go charging forwards using like improved hardening as equipment. But the XM66F has a crappy hull armor, so I play it like a hull down medium tank of a tank destroyer, so I put vents instead. But you definitely want a rammer for the first slot. Optics or turbocharger? That's a good question. You could also choose optics with helping out from field mods, but vents or improved hardening also does work pretty well, so this is a toss-up for the second slot. Vents or improved hardening. And finally, it's either optics or turbocharger based on your preference, but if you're already used to the E3, then you don't really need the turbocharger. Optics will help out a little bit more, right? I think optics will be a little bit better in most situations, but unless your teammates suck, then you have to use optics all the time. If your teammates are good, then use turbocharger. They can spot for you, but yeah, you don't have the extra loader at high tier. Yeah, loader is missing, radio operator is missing from the T30, but it's like the Doom Turtle, surprisingly, without the extra loader. So, I would say the TS5 is more consistent of a crew trainer or credit maker as a premium tank destroyer than this vehicle, but we'll have to see the actual armor. We'll really have to see. It is classified as versatile, not assault, not like the TS5. So it's in line with this vehicle, the XM66F. So I think we have to be a little bit more cautious in terms of playstyle. Very much similar to this thing, right? The whole armor on this thing sucks. It's only like 100mm. But hull armor on this thing is 95 baseline with about 160mm effective. So always haul down, but then again, Q-Block weak spots on top, so not really that great while haul down. So it's a medium tank with a pseudo turret. Only 30 degrees per side. This thing is 75, so it's better than the Traverse on this thing, but has less DPM for bigger alpha, obviously, but better penetration. 270 against 230. Yeah, better penetration. You don't have to use that much gold shell. And high pen standard shell for premium tanks are always great, so you make more credits without spending that much gold. So that's up for debate, but and not as fast as the XM66F. So this is more like a E4, whereas the XM57 is more like a E3-ish or so. But let's take a look at field mods. So similar to the 66F. First one is a given. It's not even a gimmick. So always choose the better terrain resistance. This will give you better hull traverse effectively. So always choose this one. It's not even funny to talk about this anymore. Choose this one for better terrain resistance. Second one is accuracy or aim circle size. Or aim speed. What the hell am I talking about? Aim speed or aim circle size. It's already crap, right? Accuracy is already crap. But they nerfed the aim time to 2.88. Yep, 2.88. They nerfed it. So it's a big caliber gun. You would expect about 3 seconds of aim time, but accuracy is already god awful. So might as well get better aim time for even crappier accuracy, right? Just so you can hit weak spots. Maybe. Oh, this is up for debate. This is like with the ISU. What the hell did I choose for the ISU? Like accuracy or aim time? I think better aim time for the ISU 152. That's a weird question. A conundrum, if you will. What about this caliber of a gun? I choose aim time. Accuracy's already kind of crap. Give it better aim time. So yeah, possibly better aim time. And since it's a tier 8, doesn't matter about the higher end of field mods. View range or camo after firing. No brainer. Always view range, right? Camo after firing a large caliber gun. It's 2. So don't care about camo after firing. Put better view range. This is only applying to something of an E25. It's a very gimmicky, a niche of a field mod, so this rarely gets picked. Always better view range, but how the hell do I feel about this vehicle in comparison to something of a XM66F? Well, it's more in line with the E3, but I'm worried about the actual armor. The armor on the hull doesn't seem as great, right? As you would like out of a E3-esque of a design. It's 120. So the mantlet might be pretty strong. But the downside to it is the humpback hatch in the back. The hatchback in the back. Oh, there's so many weak areas. If this is like only 100mm, then practically the turret is giving all the weak spots to the back, to the sides. So you can just ricochet from the side of the turret all the way to the hunchback in the back. It's not great. Also, the hull armor, also the lower plate, but it's slow. So we'll have to see with the actual armor, but it is very situational. Very situational. I'll give it a 5 for now, but if they buff the actual accuracy, buff the dispersion while moving, then maybe even the top speed. Give it like 30-ish kilometers per hour top speed. That would be great. But no, it feels like a freaking 5 out of 10. I mean, the gun is good for making credits, but you're slow. to get into firing position. You have a lot of weak spots, and slow vehicles without health with lots of weak spots tend to be not that much fun, like Japanese heavy tanks, even though you could just gold shell spam into their armor. So yeah, slow vehicles without armor is not that fun. Like the TOG, but the TOG has DPM and the health. Or like something of a Conquer gun carriage. Or no, the Churchill gun carriage. Not the Conquer, that's an artillery. So vehicles that are slow, without armor, and low health is a big problem, right? But hopefully the armor does hold up. Hopefully. We'll have to see. So there you go, folks. The Quasimodo Patton. Or the Igor Patton. So it does look pretty distinctively, to say the least, but it all depends on the actual armor. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.